Toledo Mayor Wade Capsicavage and Police Chief Mike Trenley, they are going to go over the city's third quarter crime statistics tomorrow, showing where the city is when it comes to key problems like homicide, theft, and robbery. Our Michael Sandlin, he spoke to a few of the city's community leaders to kind of get their take on all of this, to see what they expect from tomorrow's data. So, Michael, these two, they have interesting perspectives, right?
Certainly, Jeff. Both of the people that I talk to work in the community every day, and they tell me based on what they've seen, they think that things are going to reflect last quarter's numbers, with things still trending in a positive direction. But they say there's still some things the city needs to work on if we're going to turn that positive trend into lasting change. Alfonso Narvez has been serving the North Toledo community for decades.
You know, this neighborhood is overlooked. There's a lot of blight, there's a lot of vacant property.
As the former One Village Council president, he spent many of his waking hours trying to prevent crime in the Glass City, a mission he shares with Sean Mahone Sr. Mahone has been working with troubled teens for over a decade with his Dose of Reality program.
We have to break your child down in order to build them back up.
Trying to keep kids on the straight and narrow in a world where bad influences can be all too common. Both men have seen Toledo at its worst, but they've observed a positive shift in the last few months. And they believe at Tuesday's conference, the mayor will announce that trend is continuing to happen.
Well, I'm expecting to hear from the mayor that the numbers are down still.
We're still hoping for it to go down more and more, but we're seeing a positive trend.
Last quarter, TPD's data showed there have been 33% fewer homicides and robberies, 35% fewer thefts from motor vehicles, 9.6% fewer burglaries, and 28% fewer shootings, all compared to last year's data. Only auto thefts were up, and the data didn't reflect crimes like rape or domestic violence. Narvez says these numbers are a good sign.
I think what it means is that the city is working harder and harder to get to the neighborhoods and get to what we need.
But both men say there's a data point that's often not talked about: the amount of youth violence.
We're still having those gang issues. That's probably the biggest issue right now, is trying to get our youth and those involved in gangs, trying to get them off the streets.
So far this year, 12 of the city's 31 homicide victims have been 18 or younger. And TPD's Gang Task Force has told WTOL 11 that gang members are now as young as 13. Mahone says it's a product of a juvenile system giving young criminals a slap on the wrist.
When there's no accountability coming from our juvenile court system, and there's no accountability coming from the homes, then we're going to continue to have these issues in our community.
And he says if the city doesn't tamp down on the behavior of its youth, this positive trend will return to the usual cycle of violence. We'll be there tomorrow at 10 a.m. when the city unveils that new crime data, bringing it to you both on air and online. Reporting in downtown Toledo, Michael Sandlin for WTOL 11.